Hi, my name is Wendy, and I am going to start a series of cooking videos because I want my sons to be able to see certain favorite recipes that we have. So the first recipe that I'm ever going to do is tuna fish casserole. So tuna fish casserole. This recipe was one of my husband's favorite recipes growing up that his mom fixed. So it has become a staple in our house every now and then. So here we go. First thing is to chop up celery and onions. I would say probably a cup of each would be good. Sometimes I like to go over. I'm just a little heavy-handed. First, I melt a little butter in a pan. Next, we dump in the celery and onions. Stir it up a little bit. Continue to saute the celery and onions until they start to turn a little bit brown. Meanwhile, put on a large pot of boiling water for the noodles. Once the water is boiling, it is time to dump in the noodles. So this afternoon, I told my husband that I was fixing tuna fish casserole, and he told me to make sure that the noodles are not overcooked and mushy. So I will be cooking the noodles until they are al dente, which means just slightly firm to the bite. So I will be careful not to overcook the noodles. So we have the noodles boiling along nicely. Now we will preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Okay, it's almost time to mix everything together. So we're gonna start with 1 can of petite diced tomatoes. We're gonna open that up and then we have to strain it, okay? And then I'll decide later if I wanna add a second can because sometimes I just like to kind of go by look and taste. Okay, so let's come over to the sink and we're gonna strain this really good. So we'll start with 1 can. Okay, so now it is time to check the noodles to see if they are al dente. So we're gonna try it. I believe that is al dente. Okay, so next we're going to strain them. Go very slowly because we don't want the water to pile up in the sink and get on the noodles. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so here we go. Noodles in the pot. First thing, next, tomatoes. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put in the celery and the onions. And go in next. Okay, we're gonna start to give it a little stir. Then we're gonna put in the cream of chicken soup. It's going next. And then mayonnaise. I don't measure, so we're just gonna put in like 2 spoonfuls. And then, last but not least, the tuna fish is going in. There we go. So, once you get all the tuna fish in, make sure you don't leave any in the package. Then, here we go. I'm gonna give it a big mix. That's looking good. Definitely looking like casserole material. All right, here we go. Tuna fish casserole. Now, of course, we cannot forget the salt and pepper. I'd like to show you. These are my grandmother's salt and pepper shakers. Aren't they adorable? Love them. So put a little salt and put pepper to your liking. Of course, you can add more pepper later, but I like salt and pepper. It is looking like it is ready to go. That looks delicious. I don't think we need to add another can of the tomatoes. I think that looks perfect. So if it isn't juicy enough for you, you can add another can of cream of chicken soup or a little bit more mayonnaise. Definitely taste it to see if you need more salt and pepper because I needed a little more salt and pepper. Anyway, so once it's ready, all mixed up, it's ready to go in the 9x13. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna confess, I added another can of cream of chicken soup and another scoop of mayonnaise because I'm just a little heavy-handed. Okay, next we are going in the 9x13. Okay. That looks pretty thick. I think I'm gonna save the rest to make like a small casserole. So let's start with this. All right. So first we are actually gonna pre-bake it before we put the top layer of cheese on so it doesn't burn. So here we go. All right, so I'm gonna set a timer for 30 minutes. Then we'll check it. Okay, so the casserole's been in for 30 minutes and it's bubbly and it is time to add the cheese. So we're gonna use a pack of 2 cups of cheddar cheese. And you can use more or less to your liking. And then we're gonna pop it back in the oven for about 5 minutes. Okay, so here we have it. Tuna fish casserole. So we're gonna cut a serving to with, put it on the plate, and goes nicely with a Caesar salad. Tuna fish casserole. Boys, I hope you enjoy.